Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football.
Coach, we are 15 miles due west of the Atlantic, nestled in downtown Jacksonville at TIAA Bank Field. Tonight, Week 15 begins with a great Thursday night matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards right off the bat. And a quick first down.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. From the gun, Bryant, and the catch good. It's Eifert. A gain of 6 there on first. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down. Operating from the gun, Bryant, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Golladay, 76 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first down.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Looking to throw. Bryant. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, Bryant, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Throwing on 3rd and long. Bryant, that one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether we're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Stafford on first down. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And Fournette trying to power his way forward, but I don't think he got there.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
Throwing on 2nd down. Stafford. He's got Green. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. Stafford now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Now this throw caught left side. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Now a first down throw. Stafford. That is caught inside the 5. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Again, it's Stafford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point forthcoming. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. 5 plays there on that drive. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now Leonard Fournette. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Bryant. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This will be taken at the 10. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Exit.
Throwing again. Stafford. He's going to fire one deep, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 35.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Make that now 3 first-half touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford, and the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
2nd and 9 now. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Pulled in at the 24. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. He does have the 1 interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than the ratio.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
44, Mike, 50.
Throwing is Stafford. He's going to let this one go deep. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And they take possession of the football and have it at their 36-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, trying to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back 1 pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
He got 29 yards that time. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. DJ Chark, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars get a score closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Stafford delivers this to Hawkinson. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw again on second down. Stafford, and a big loss here as he's taken down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Out of the gun, Stafford. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Detroit. 4th touchdown pass of the game for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Look at DJ Chark as he and the rest of the offense head back out, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Got his man, it's Eifert. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Set go. Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
And this time they'll just keep this on the ground. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-up.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Matthew Stafford does it again. 5 touchdown passes. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Fielded just inside the 20. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And out. Will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Stafford is going to fire one. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there for Detroit. And even 60 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up now.
Are they ever? Red zone. I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Looking to throw. Tate, and that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A 16-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, with that touchdown pass, I'm going to bring up a point from earlier in the year. Some of the fans were saying, when do we turn to the rookie? Well, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I love the fact that the fans are bringing that up because I'm not the head coach, okay? So he's got to deal with it. But I think it's a legitimate question. With the way their season is going, I think now is the time to turn the page and let him get some starts before this season is over.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. 2nd and 6. Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain there of 21 yards.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Detroit. Officially, that is a 99-yard punt return as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. What a risk he took, but it paid off. I mean, he took that punt from inside the 5 near the goal line, ran it all the way back.
And normal coaching says you let that one go. Anytime you're inside the 10-yard line, you let it hit and hopefully bounce into the end zone. But as you mentioned, he took a risk, and boy, did it pay off in a big way. I wonder if they let up a little bit going downfield, thinking that there was no way he was going to return that one.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
On the draw, this is Fournette. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Operating from the gun. Bryant, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche that's coming right on top of them. He'll take it at the 42. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team. Their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They go to Johnson again, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Jags grab it. He's at the 50, 30, 10. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. And at this point, after that return for a touchdown, I guess the only thing is you're asking what else could go wrong.
Not only that, I think that between the two of us, we thought this was over before. I believe now it's really over.
Lambeau to add on the extra point. So they get one score back, but still a long ways to go here in this third quarter. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. They'll start on the ground with Kelly. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. This is Kelly. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. This is Kelly. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Tate. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 12-yard line. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On second down now, it's Kellen. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. The Lions on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Miles Jack coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. 44's the mic. 44's the mic.
Here's 2nd and 8. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw. Bryant. It's complete to Chris Conley. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd and long. Bryant, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up? Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.